turning all this into this. So we're going to like to top it off again with a little bit more of some parsley. Give it that really filling. Perfect. That cooked there. There we go. Voila. A little bit more butter. This is the flavor of that yellow. Soup, chicken noodle soup, whatever you call it. What's up, guys? Welcome to Cheryl Fuller's Spiritual Wealth. Changing things up today. We are actually introducing Cheryl's Cafe. And so we're so excited. I'm going to share with you my favorite chicken noodle soup recipe that I just came up with. You can make it all different kinds of ways, and I'm going to share with you each and every way to kind of do that. I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to show you how to show you how to break it down, but I'm going to show you how to basically take the chicken off the bone. I'm going to teach you how, if you don't want to do that, you can do this chicken or that chicken, or even get a different chicken. So we're going to go around all the different ways. Like, this is a rotisserie chicken, and it's been my favorite. It's already flavored and it's wonderful. And you can even buy two and break pieces off and have burritos and sandwiches. Add a little avocado with that. And so that's one of my favorites. Also, you can cook down the chicken, and not only can you make the bombest chicken noodle soup that I'm going to show you today, but you can also make enchiladas, sandwiches, the list goes on and on. So this is only $4.99 at Costco, and at other places it's around about the same. So for all this, I can make, for what I got, I can make literally, if you are starting from scratch and you have nothing and you have the Costco card, you can literally go get all of this and you can make, I don't know how many chicken noodle soups, probably about 2 to 3 big old bowls or big old pots of chicken noodle soup, and that was only $44. I have enough stock. I'll probably be donating some to the family because I got so much, six stocks. But anyways, and then also, like I said, if you are starting from scratch and you don't have any of the seasons, then you can also, that was $10.98 for all of the seasons minus the secret season that it's actually Suzy Q or Santa Maria. It's one of my favorites, but you can use your favorite seasons. All right, guys, so let's get started because we got a lot to do. All right, guys, just to clarify, just to get started and let you know what I got at the Costco, including the butter. This was all $53. Now, of course, none of y'all got to do all of this, but you get the idea of what we're going to be using. However, you can always downsize it, and I've got all the options and other ways to show you. However, you can see how much I've got here to where I can make lots and lots of soup. And chicken stock you can use for so many things, and this is going to be your flavor. However, you can buy smaller of that of Walmart. And so we're just going to clarify this. I'm a Costco shopper, but this will for $53. This will be so many things, along with I use it for all of it, but I just wanted to show you what's up. But let's move on to some other options and easier options if you don't feel like breaking the chicken off the bone. You can get the canned chicken. You can also use that for the chicken broth, like I said, and just buy a smaller one of those. This is a huge one. And then you can also use chicken breasts, and if they're frozen tonight, no worries, throw them in. Also, a whole chicken, just like the one that I have rotisserie, you can use that as well. So there's so many different options to go on. And over here, this is, I needed to re-up on everything. However, you can always get Himalayan salt or whatever salt. But this all cost minus $1 because I got another season. This was all $8.68, and these will go a long way. These will make 2 different things of soup, and so these are some options to downsize it. So if you wanted to go to Walmart, you can always purchase all this. Of course, you probably have parsley, salt, and black pepper, and all that good jazz. All right, let's get it. Also, my favorite seasoning is Suzy Q. Used to be Santa Maria. However, it's just a garlic, parsley little thing. And of course, yeah, I add more parsley. All right, guys, so I just want to go ahead and just kind of show you what you need. Like I said, if you have a whole chicken that is not a rotisserie, you can use that as well. And another thing I do as well is I take the not so pretty chicken and I save it for my dog and mix it with her dog food. And so that's another option I think I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video. So yeah, this is not only for me and my family for all kinds of good stuff, but it's also for the pup. So I just wanted to share that out to you. So what you will need is some kind of chicken, whatever, carrots, celery, some chicken stock, some little flavored, which there's other options out there. It'll probably be right next to that. Some butter and some, I love to use one of each. I love to use a yellow and a green squash. However, the other options for this, if you don't have this, just grab you some of this or something similar. Same with the chicken. Like I said, if you don't feel like doing all that, just use the chicken breast. All right, guys, and then you will also need your, pepper, salt, parsley. I like to add some more, and then some dumplings. However, if you are staying away from noodles, you just minus the dumplings out, and then it would be, of course, just chicken vegetable soup. All right, guys, let's get. All right, as I'm putting away the items that I won't be needing, I just wanted to show you what an awesome deal it is to purchase everything in bulk. Like I said, we'll be taking the celery and we'll be putting those, I'll be cutting those, and those will also be peanut butter and for future things along with the carrots. And I don't remember how many, I don't remember how many soups I got out of the last thing of carrots that I got here, but there was a ton. So, and you can also, of course, use those for other things. So I'm going to put up all the supplies that we're not going to be using now, and then we will get back into the soup. We're gonna fill it up with water. And remember, this will be your future broth. remember this will be your broth, so you want to make sure that it's nice and clean and bless it. Alright guys, placing the rotisserie chicken that I purchased. Like I said, you can get it at Costco, Walmart. I think they have them pretty much everywhere. Sam's Club. You can get this stuff anywhere. Don't forget to take the little string off. However, if you do, it's no big deal. But it's just tied there to the little legs and kind of wrapped around to the front here. And like I said, if you forget to, it's no big deal. It'll come off, and it's normally way easier than this. So we might even do that. So no harm, no foul. We're going to go ahead and put it in the water here, and we're going to let it boil down. We're also going to take all these nice juices here and those clumps of that broth. We're going to throw that in there as well. And by the way, trust me, I cannot keep this soup in my, also save this for our bone departure and all that. And we're gonna put it, and also save the top as well, because we'll be using that as well for some bone departure. All right, you're gonna put a lid on it. Just go ahead and leave it a little bit lippy, and leave a little bit lip there, and then just go ahead and, you know, give it about an 8, almost a high, but almost nice. Get a nice boil going, and while that's boiling, we're gonna go cut up the vegetables. Also, if you have little ones, to make sure and put the boiling water at the back burner. No matter what, no matter how, just do it to be safe. I don't have little ones, so I didn't do that, but I just wanted to remind people of that. Alright, so if you didn't do the big bulk run like I did, no worries. No worries. You're just going to need one of these. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you hit, it's up to it's your choosing. I like to do one of each. And so you can go by one yellow and one green squash in your each set. And what I don't have like a specific countdown yet. That's why I'm kind of doing the video. But I just kind of fill up a little Tupperware thing, which is perfectly fine. But I just cut up somewhat here, and then we will set that aside and move on to the next thing. I can get this open. We'll go ahead and get started. I always cut the edges off because they are a little bit dark on the edges, so cut those off here. Same with both sides, so you just want to slide it over and get it a nice little cut there. Let's just let those go off to the side, and then we'll go ahead and just kind of rinse this off a little bit here. I would probably say about a cup or so of those. Just kind of give those a nice little rinse. Alright, let's get to chopping. I'm all about getting it over easy. So what I like to do, we're going to cut the ends off, and then we're going to cut these together as well. So what I like to do is kind of start in the middle here, so it's a little bit easier to maneuver it. And a nice cut there. And then what I like to do is make it about to where everything is about the same. So the squash cooks a little bit faster than the other veggies, so we're going to make these a little bit thicker. And it doesn't matter if you don't and they're a little mushy, they're still amazing flavor. And cutting however you like as well. And then we're gonna, sometimes I even cut it, but today I'm gonna keep it because last time they softened up perfectly. But of course, you know, each time is different. That's what makes this a unique soup, and soup for your soul. Also, I don't know if I mentioned yet that I do, another reason why I love this is because I can take the not so pretty chicken, excuse me, not so pretty chicken, and I can save that over for my puppy. And of course she absolutely loves it. So this is a win-win for everybody. And like I said, I cannot keep this soup in the house. And it's a very healthy choice. I do go back and forth on my tomatoes. And so, I mean tomatoes, potatoes. Sometimes I add potatoes, sometimes I add just what I'm showing you. But if you do want to add a little potato, or if you're trying to stay away from, and these are amazing and they're well, just a nice little add to the broth. So no reason to waste that. It's very flavorful for in there. And then, like I said, I usually will cut some up for the family to have some peanut butter or whatnot. And so this is another good investment, another win-win for a healthy choice for the kids. And so you know, the celery doesn't go to waste, and as well adds a nice flavor. And if you do have some celery salt, you can add that if you like. That would make a nice addition if you don't have some of that Santa Maria or whatnot. So that would be fine as well. Whichever, like I said, you choose. This is just me sharing with you what I've been doing and the kids, and I have been loving it. It's an amazing at lunch, just other healthy options, and I think it's super reasonably priced and versatile. I'm going to go ahead and use these as well, but if I was getting ready, I would probably just cut these right there, and then I'd put them in a Tupperware thing, and there you go for the kids, and the peanut butter, boom, they're all set. We're going to go ahead and cut these up. Another great thing about chicken is you can make so many things with it, especially after it's boiled. In our rotisserie, you can make sandwiches. So what I'll do with it is I'll grab it, maybe grab two. This time I have two full ones. Thought we were going to eat on it a little bit more, but what we'll do is I'll make sandwiches with it, burritos, and I'll add, just take chunks of that rotisserie chicken off there and add some, those will soften up. We won't even notice those in the soup, barely, just a nice flavor. Those will soften up. All right, got our celery and our zucchini. Now we are going to get the, oh, I thought I had, here we go. Carrots that we just rinsed off. Like I said, I try to get things done as fast as possible because chicken noodle soup can be a little time cruncher, but I feel like I've kind of mastered it with somewhat or whatever with the way I try to do it. So since I've got the baby carrots, sometimes we cut them up, sometimes we don't. I like to cut them at least in half, and that way we kind of have a little bit or half, or you know, maybe even like in four, so it's kind of like that right there, and we kind of have an even amount because these it must look like a cheese puff. All right, so we'll kind of even that out a little bit, and then I can just go ahead and get all those done in one very carefully. Just kind of touch those up. I'm gonna go one more in there, and I think we're good on that. Like I said, I don't really have a measuring, but I do kind of have a measuring. This is probably a little bit bigger. I'm working on getting one of those big, huge pots, so it doesn't matter how much we put in there. But anyways, as I was saying last time, I got the 2 rotisserie chickens, and we had made some awesome sandwiches and some burritos with it. Just by chunks of the chicken, grabbing some peppers and such, which I'm sure you guys have all done that as well. And then whatever I had left, I just added all of that in there, and it was bomb. What I like to eat with my chicken noodle soup is Ritz crackers. By itself is fine as well, but what my favorite is cornbread. So I always usually make cornbread with that as well. And these are always nice to have a nice snack around as well. They're perfect for just, you know, right here. And the kids get used to that too, and they like it. All right, guys, let's go check on the chicken. We got a nice boil going there. And then go ahead and flip it over. The reason why I like to flip mine over is because I don't want to get it too dry, because that right there, that it's already starting to fall away. And like I said, with the rotisserie, it's already got a beautiful flavor. String is, that's the hardest string I think I've ever seen before. That'll come off though, and there's no worries on that. Sorry, my camera got jumped up there. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of maneuver that a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll be taking like all this skin off, and this will be going for the pup. I do that correctly. You'll take all this skin off, and that'll be going for the puppy. So we can just go ahead and start kind of maneuvering that. And so yeah, I already start taking the skin off. Makes it a little bit easier. And that'll be completely for the pup. So yeah. Alright, guys. No, forgive me on that filming there. That was not the best. Alright, well, that is still boiling. We are going to cook this up. However, if you wanted to, you could chop some more of those up and have those ready for your fam. One thing that I do think is very important when you're getting the family and everything, it's really easy to buy a ton of different food, but then you have like a ton of different stuff. So I always learned, I guess, eating and feeding people on a budget, family on a budget, to always take what you have and kind of mix it with other things. And then when you're making your meal plans and you're prepping and you're grocery shopping and all that, you know, plan for this and then mix it in with that, and then it just makes it for a lot lower and then a lot less waste of food is the way I look at it. All right, so if I was, I am going to add potatoes today to my soup, but only add 1 or 2, and it's mostly just for, like I said, the flavor, and then it kind of gives it more of that dumpling effect. Also, if you do want to make chicken and dumplings, this would be the perfect video as well, because you would take that and do the same, and then you would do dumplings. And I love the Bisquick one. You could do a homemade one, whichever one, it's all good. And then, or you could do potatoes, and that would be the same. Or even these noodles are dumpling noodles that I fell in love with. They're amazing. But anyways, just some key thoughts and key notes to think about when you're prepping and purchasing and planning for your meals. It's so much easier to kind of combine and collaborate. So if you have tortillas, you know, you could have chicken tacos, breakfast burritos, you know, quesadillas, and you can just kind of mix and match, and it's amazing. You can make tacos, and you can make taco omelets the next morning. You know, you have your cheese. So there's just so many ways to really you know, just accommodate and use all your food without wasting it, and pretty much like run it like Cheryl's Cafe. All right, guys, good deal. All right, guys, peeling potatoes. I like to peel the potatoes. Of course, you don't have to. I think sometimes I have, sometimes I haven't. Getting a good peeler is key. And so, yeah, always conserving that that water, of course. Also, I make a mean mashed potato, and if anybody would like to see any future cooking videos, please let me know, because I do, my bracelet, I keep thinking somebody's going, because I do love cooking, and I think cooking is very spiritual, and just like everything is, and so, yeah, I think can really kind of take you out of a funk and just kind of help you zero into those, to kind of what you're doing, and just kind of like gardening is as well. So yeah, big potatoes are easier to do too, and that's why I love the Costco potatoes. These are really bruised up. I'm gonna have to really cut those up, but. So yeah, you can kind of go a little bit and those bruises will go away. And sometimes you have to cut them off. These are going away though, so that's good. Like I said, I just add a little bit of potato for the flavor. And I love potatoes. A lot of German-ness. I guess is what my daughter teases us about. But yeah, like I said, it makes it a more dumpling. But we do go back and forth on that. We don't always add potatoes, but I am feeling that today, so we're going to do that. Alright guys, I'll just give it a nice rinsey-roo. So you can literally go buy some celery, a couple carrots, some squash, or whatever your favorite veggies are, because literally even broccoli would change the flavor a bit, but broccoli would be amazing. You can even do a broccoli cheese soup. Crazy. So I'm going to make these a little bit big because these will cook a little bit faster than the squash, or I mean the carrots. So that's why I cut the carrots up a little bit, because those take a little bit longer than the rest of it does. One down the middle there. Hopefully I didn't do that twice. And one down this middle here. By the way, I'm not a professional. This is just for fun. So. Alright guys, and then I can already tell we've maximized our veggie thing in here, and this is actually 8 cups. So this is going to be fun to see if we need to use 2 pots by the time we get done with this. And yeah, just put it a little paper towel there. And we're just going to roll that up into dough. It's all cleaned up. Checking on our beautiful. So I can't remember how I usually do this, but try to, like I said, make things as easy as possible. And so I have this, which I usually cut up and take the bone off, and that'll be for pup. This will be to throw away. So let's go ahead and see, and then I gotta grab mine. And this will be for the chicken noodle soup. So I'm going to set that there, and we're just going to see what we got. So we got a nice big chunk there, nice big chunk there, and go for pup there. Get the string out of there, and that goes in the trashy part. That'll be for the pup, or possibly either or, maybe a little bit of both. But we're gonna take that big old chunk here for take the skin pup, and then we are gonna take this big old chunk here. Excuse me. a little break and put that for the soup. And that would be trash. If it's a clear piece like this, you know, then I don't go through and debone it because it's already, you know, deboned. So yeah, that goes in there. So you can kind of start it. All the skin goes to pup, and I cut it all up, but I'll go through that and debone that as well. So no stress. So we're gonna flip this around. And this is once again where we're gonna just kind of take that skin right off of there. And some people might want to eat that as well, or add it to their soup, whatever your preference. But I like to set it aside and save it for the pup. All right, we got some perfect chunks here. I like to take this off so it doesn't get overcooked, and just kind of set this aside in the soup part. This will be all for the soup. You may need a little bit more time just to kind of give it some time to break off a little bit easier. That right there. These probably separating that a bit there. Perfect. So we're just going to kind of turn this down to more of a simmer there, and we'll be saving that all. That'll be for the pup. I'm just going to kind of tone it down to like a medium. Like I said, I don't want to overcook the chicken because this has already been previously rotisserie, so I don't want it to be too dry. So we'll be toning it down a little bit, putting it to medium, and taking a little break. Okay, so yeah, make sure to put this under here. I might have muffed up a little step there, but yeah, I don't want the same thing to happen to you where it leaks all over the counter. So make sure you have something under this. We'll figure it out. All right, guys, break is over. Just coming and testing our breakaway here. Perfect. And these will be the prime pieces for the chicken soup. Take the skin out. Said, however, it's your choice, however you'd like, if you want to, you know, have skin in there or not. Also, just to give a clarification, of course, if you are using canned chicken, you'll just skip past this part of the video, and you would just make your broth more, it would be without the chicken, so you would just have to make it more seasoned, so you would just add more bouillon or whatnot. So, and then of course, if you were starting from scratch with the frozen chicken, if it was a full one, not boneless, you would have to cook it for longer, of course, than if it was already cooked like this one is. And this is still pretty long. I would say probably about, it depends on, of course, things, but probably about, I don't know how long I've been cooking this, but for, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes at least, if not an hour by just with this. And like I said, I try not to cook it too much because I don't want it to be too dry. And so we'll just be kind of setting aside this, and then kind of taking the prime over here, and then we are going to be deboning it. We're going to be draining all that now, and we'll go do that next. And then we're going to be letting this all cool down while we get the vegetables and the broth going. So that'll be next. All right, guys, for your next step, you'll need something to go in, and you'll need a strainer. So go grab those items and stick it in there. Of course, be very, very careful. Grab some pot holders. Always safe is always better. And of course, there's different ways to do it. You can do it however you feel. This is just however I feel. I like to kind of take some of the chicken out like we kind of did as we go. And then this will be nice and easy here. Also make sure you got it deep enough underneath there. So we'll go nice and gentle and look for that as well. And make sure that we have enough room for our broth. It's okay to let a little bit go because we have, I think we're gonna be okay. So go ahead and put all that in there. And then you wanna make sure your thing's nice and clean because we're getting ready to dump the rest and cook the rest. And do a nice little rinse out there. You don't have to do too much because we're cooking the same stuff, but if we have a little bit of chicken residues or something, we get a nice little clean on there. And then next we are going to start our broth. So we're going to go ahead and take this and drain all the rest of the bones and just everything and make sure they're completely out of the broth here with the strainer. Go ahead and bring that forth. Just kind of set that in there and let that drain. Of course we have the thing under there as well. So, and then we are going to take this very carefully here. Set that over here. And then we are just going to very carefully, like I said, pour the broth. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this little part here and just pour that back in there. And there, now you see how nice and seasoned that already is. So we can go ahead now and we're going to start adding, I probably need to add some more water and such. So here's where all the magic happens. All right, guys, like I said, if you don't feel like you have enough water, remember we're going to be cooking veggies in this, and we're going to be adding, I like it, it's called a one pot stop chicken noodle soup, I guess you could say, chicken and dumplings, whatever. But we're going to be actually cooking down the veggies and then adding the noodles as well. So we'll see how it turns out. We might have to add another pot to finish it, and that's okay. So but I want to add some more water because we have a really nice good broth going here, but it is a little bit it's perfect, but we're going to be adding some more of course. So I love to use this. You can use whatever you like. So I'm just gonna kind of do a little circle sprinkle in there, maybe a couple of circle sprinkles. And then I love to add some extra parsley. Once again, this is a new one. Oh, well, all right, well, I didn't mean to add that much, but oh well. So yeah, be light on that. Also, I add always, it's so funny, I can't believe that was my first one. So some salt and pepper. And then I'll be adding this. Just a little bit, a couple of teaspoons, tablespoons, whatever you feel. It's more of a flavorful thing, whatever you flavor. And so that's what it looks like. So I just add usually about that much, about that, and then one more. Like I said, depending upon how big it is. So as you can see, about 2 tablespoons, probably, something like that. Just kind of mix it around here. We got a really good broth going. All right, now I'm going to add, it's pretty much like extra broth. Okay, now we're going to add some more chicken stock. I've never used this kind, but this is just to kind of make sure that we add some more juices without having to add water to this. So we're just, that's probably, I don't know, it doesn't matter. So just pour some in there. I usually use 2 cans normally, so I usually use 2 cans. So add 2 cans. Just kind of keep mixing it up here. just gonna do a little taste. I got right without that dissolve. It's good. It's got a good flavor. It's not too much, so we're gonna add the veggies. We can always add a little bit more of this, or a little bit more anything we want. Sometimes I add it on top. Normally I add a little bit more parsley on top. So now we're going to pour our veggies in there and get those cooking. So all the ones that we cut earlier, you can always go a little slow. I try to go in one pocket so then it doesn't splash all over, but I kind of forgot about that. So again, since we kind of didn't measure anything, we kind of said this is perfect. We got a perfect liquid compared to this in there. So we are going to get that and go to the stove now. Alright guys, we're just going to go ahead and the nice, like going no lid this time, keeping the lid off. And we're just going to do about a little medium, not too much, and we're going to go do the chicken. Alright, we have our strained stuff we're going to debone. We have this stuff we're going to debone. That's going to be a toss-up between puppy, our chicken noodle soup, and then we have the main meat here. So we're gonna need another little thing for the main meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'll just go ahead and rinse it out. Well, I decided to use this. So this is where the main meat's gonna go to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the chicken that is gonna be for the main food for the chicken noodle soup, and I'm gonna get this for the side for pup. And then we'll actually take the main chicken and I'll be cutting it once it's all in here. So that's our next steps. So go ahead if you need to get those items. Also, if it's too hot, you can also, what I normally do is put it in the fridge, and that also keeps it sanitary well. So you can place this in the fridge after all that, and it's really nice and cool. So when you go to debone it, first things first, wash your hands. Very good, of course. And then you want to take off any jewelry or whatnot. And then let's get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use this for our main thing. We're going to set this over for, like I said, the pup, or if you have any other animals. So we're just going to be taking it and deboning it, and then we're going to be getting rid of this. So we have a lot going on when this happens. So I thought I had this dialed in. Let me get it dialed in better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to marry that in there. Got it back together here. Yeah, that out. So this is going to be a hand toss between what I give, like this will be, chicken soup. That's perfect. Same thing with this, chicken soup, but pup. So we're going to go ahead and get on with that. Oh, and of course, we have the wishbone. Always set the wishbone aside. Set the wishbone aside, let it dry out, and then you and somebody else can make a wish, and whoever gets the bigger part is the one who makes the wish, or both you guys can make a wish, of course. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure that this is a good piece. It's a little bit not as pretty as I'd like, so we're going to go ahead and just set that in, make sure there's no bones, and put that in there for pup. Okay, and then this is going to be for the chicken soup. And then of course this will be the end of it. You want to get that out of there. And go ahead and just keep those big chunks in there, because we're going to do a nice big cut on it when we're done, and it just works out perfect. So we're making sure with our hands that there is no bones in there. That's why it makes it a little bit easier if you kind of get these big chunks. Those are nice flavors too for the rotisserie one or whichever one. And for a frozen one, it's probably going to be, unless you have a pressure cooker or whatnot, but it's probably going to be, you know, an hour or 2 hours. So if you don't see it falling apart yet, just, you know, cook it a little bit longer. Okay, so we're gonna go at that. It's gonna go for pup. Just kind of see if you can see that a little bit better. Perfect for our chicken. Once again, perfect. I always say the pretty for the chicken. We want to squeeze and make sure we have no bones in there. And then go ahead and a little perfect. I'll make sure there's no bones and get rid of that fat. All right, that is complete there. And then we're gonna come over to the more perfect here. Like I said last time when I did this, I had a lot more chicken because I got 2. We ate on some, and then what we did, I cooked both of them, so we had a lot of chicken left over. And so, like I said, that's where you can make some other meals like chicken enchiladas. And so I'm probably going to do that with the other rotisserie I got, because I didn't want it to be too big today for this video. And of course, pups can eat, you know, more than we can, but we want to keep away from those bones. But the little bristles and those are fine. Because in case you got a little pup, then no. Big pup, no, I'd say no. Of course, you know your pup more than I do, but just be careful. Pull that off, put that there. Trust me, your dog will love. What I do is I cut it up, and then I add, and then I mix it up with the dog food, and then I add a little broth too if I have some left over. Like last time I did 2 chickens, it was huge. I even get that dark stuff in there for the pup. Almost finished. It works out perfect. So while we're doing this, if you haven't already, your veggies should be cooking. Not the noodles yet, just the veggies. So it's like a win-win. No time is wasted. So remember that skin is going in there for pup. Or you can add it to yours. Just want to make sure there's no bones in here. And we are just about done with the deboning part. Seems like a while, but you just kind of zone out and you don't even notice it. And it does become very, you know, therapeutic. And These are in if or whatever, you know, you have these little pieces here. If you want to add those, are good either or. But I'm going to go ahead and slide those over to Pup. And then voila, we are deboned here. And we are just going to kind of set this aside here and go check on our noodles. I'm in our veggies. And go ahead, and what I do is for puppy dog, real quick, is I just take nice clean scissors and I just go boom boom and cut all that nice up. It'll also help you catch any bones we might have missed when you do this, so it's like an extra step. And it cuts that skin up. We did. Got a little bone I missed there, so that's another good way to do that. So yeah, I just cut it all up. And then this is all ready to go for Pup. Perfect. Okay, we've got the veggies over here. Looking good, smelling good, coming together nicely. Plenty of broth. Veggies need to cook a few more minutes. You can fill in and they're still kind of hard. Then yeah, we need to cook those for a little bit longer. But no worries. A little bit longer. And remember, when you add, the next thing that we're going to be getting prepared for is we're going to be adding the noodles. Not the chicken, just the noodles. We don't want to add the chicken in there yet because we don't want it to, we want to still have plenty of room to cook those noodles down, okay? All right, guys, break time. Make sure to stir occasionally, of course. Making sure we get an even flow of all the veggies cooking in there. Just occasionally stirring, and say probably, you know, 20-30 minutes. I don't know. I haven't really kept track of it, but just once we fill them, kind of softening, then we'll know. And once again, if you don't want to do, if you're trying to do low carbohydrates, why did that sound so funny? You'll minus the potatoes and noodles, and then you'll have, I guess, a keto friendly thing. But if you're not concerned with that, then do it up. But yeah, I think that's the only thing if you're trying to do it for a weight loss or whatever. But I've been doing it with the noodles, and it seems like it's been helping me, and I've been craving it, especially when I do have my Reiki session with my clients. I definitely crave this soup, so I'll have my smoothie and my soup, and of course, we can do that smoothie recipe on there as well if you like. My favorite smoothie, Cheryl's Cafe, is inspired by my dad, who's passed away a year ago, August 23rd, and he actually made me the Cheryl's Cafe sign, and it's so funny because it's just been in my kitchen. And just in meditation one day, you know, it's literally felt like he's been really tugging at me to do this. So this is soup for the soul, and of course we're sneaking a little spiritualism in there as well, because it is Cheryl Fuller Spiritual Wealth. But yeah, my my dad is the inspiration for this calling. It was just a huge calling, and also for anybody who's looking for a healthy way to feed their family, and a healthy way to, and not only healthy, but a very affordable way. So you would probably, if you were just going to the Walmart, you would be getting, you know, 1 rotisserie chicken, 1 squash, 1, I like to do yellow and green, you know, a small thing of carrots. And so you can get this down to very minimal, and it's very fulfilling, healthy. And yeah, and then once you purchase, of course, the seasons and stuff, you know, then you don't have to repurchase those, and so it just gets more affordable. So we're just going to keep letting those cook a little bit. I'm going to just turn it down a little bit. I don't want them to be too overcooked, but I don't want them to be undercooked. So of course, so we're just going to slow it down a little bit and just keep letting them cook, and maybe 20 to 30 minutes before we have those veggies where we want them. So break time. And as you can see, that broth is really turning out really well, even with my accidental parsley dump. Well, the veggies are cooking. I'm going to go ahead and cut the meat, cut the chicken. So that's why I kind of laid it in there like that, so I can get some nice, even really good cuts to where it just looks really nice and beautiful for the chicken noodle soup. And then we'll go ahead, for health purposes, and stick this in the fridge after this. Not only is it nice to do it like this, but it also helps us to be able to catch any bones that we may have missed. Also, if you do have young kids, even once you get the bowl of soup, of course, you know, do a little double check on that. We don't want any accidents, so always do a double check on that. And then we can kind of just see if we miss some pieces. There we go. And then just do a nice chunk, so where we just have a nice, beautiful, clean piece of chicken. And it is pretty amazing. I have felt a calling to do this video for a long time, but I've never done anything like this before, so it was just kind of crazy how it's all come forth. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Also, if you find another little pup piece, you can take that out of there. It's just kind of a nice little extra go through here, and just making sure we've got nice big chunks cut up here as the veggies are cooking. If you have too much chicken, it's always nice, like I said, to set it aside and make sandwiches with it. You can put it on buns and add some barbecue sauce. You can make chicken enchiladas, green chicken enchiladas. You can make just pretty much anything you want, obviously. So now we're going to go ahead and place this in the fridge while the rest of the things are cooking. So yeah, here we go. if it's hot and you just took it out of there, make sure there's no milk products around that. Mine's not as hot, but just for future, make sure you have no milk products around or anything, because you don't want it to split, especially if you're trying to cool it down if it's hot, because sometimes, or usually I put it in there right after. So, all right, getting ready to finish. Okay, back on the veggies, and I'm feeling almost satisfied. So I'm gonna say they're about almost done by the time I think the noodles will be done. I think the veggies will be done as well. So kind of once that squash kind of takes a little softness to it, we're gonna go ahead and add the noodles, and that way they'll kind of all be cooked perfectly together. So noodle time. And I do use the full bag. We'll just go ahead and put this in there. At this point in time, we're going to crank that heat back up to high and get this back to a boil. Also, just so you know, yes, these are going to swell and it's going to be huge, and it's going to be almost not really like chicken. It's almost like chicken, thick chicken. So that's why I said sometimes I don't have enough, but we can always add more broth. But I think so far so good, more water, and we can maneuver the broth a little bit. We can adjust it as needed. So we are going to let those come to a boil here, and just kind of cooking it on the random, and just kind of letting all those maneuver together. And then the next thing that we will be doing, like I said, if we have to add, we can probably, to me it looks like we probably need to add a little bit more, so I'm going to add a little bit more stock. However, if you don't have the option, if you don't have one of these, you're fine. I just feel like I need to, so I'm going to add, if you do, perfect, I'm going to add a little bit more of this. And those are those 2 cans, so I'm going to add a little bit more. If you're making smaller, you can obviously do, you know, less. And then also you can minus the deboning if you just wanted to get canned chicken, if you're just, you know, on your own and haven't got a lot of cooking experience. But you can boil veggies and noodles, then, yeah, you can grab a can of chicken and use that broth in that can of chicken if you end up doing that. Make sure to use that up as well. And just pretty much minus all those steps and add a little bit more, you know, season. Of course, if you're not gonna have the whole chicken to boil down and to have that amazing broth, you can just add more season and more broth and stuff to get that more brothy taste. Whatever the case may be, doesn't matter. But yeah, I just felt, because I know those are going to really thicken up, which is fine. That's how it's been doing. It's really thick chicken, more like chicken dumplings, and that's like my favorite, minus the dough, I should say, or I guess it's just a different dough. The dumplings I'm used to is like the big ones my grandma used to do with like the big old balls. Alright, so give that a minute to cook down, and then we will taste the broth. I will add some butter and add some more season if needed, and add the chicken. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit to about a medium there, continually stirring. You can see those squash start breaking away, and that's perfect. By the time I said the noodles will be done, everything else will be done, and it'll be perfect timing, and then we will see where we're at on our broth and how it tastes and what we need to do. Perfect. Next, like I said, I always like to add butter, so if you don't want to add butter, of course you don't have to add butter. Of course, if you're not into chicken and you just like the noodles and the vegetables, then those cook down and you would be done. And that would be a, vegetable soup, vegetable noodle soup. Alright, now everything's kind of starting to break apart. The potatoes, that's how you know the veggies are done. The noodles are done. They'll swell up more. But while that's going, we're going to go ahead and start checking our taste and seeing where we're at, if we need to add anything. And we're going to add the chicken. I said I always love to add some butter. So just maybe 2 to 3 or 4 tablespoons. Like I said, you don't have to add it. I like the flavor and the yellowness it brings. Just gonna taste. Yum. Needs a little bit more of this. And a little bit more salt and pepper to me. Oh, that's glad I burnt my tongue. The chicken. Just kind of gently do one pile in a corner so it doesn't splash up on you. And you can start it and then just go ahead and kind of flow. See if we might have some. Ooh, we got a big piece there. I gotta recut that. I could set that there and still cut it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, got the chicken in there. Now we're gonna stir it around. And just kind of let it cure. Into this. Hello guys, so excited to share with you a new addition to my channel, which is Cheryl's Cafe, and just sharing with you some amazing secrets I use in the kitchen and household and all that. So I'm excited to introduce this new addition to Cheryl's Fuller Spiritual Wealth is Cheryl's Cafe. Thank you so much.